suck.
You're just playing with yourself.
Give up. Works
Oh.
We're going to a haunted house.
Just run away together, chase the weather, live a life written in love letters. Run away together, make it better, just us two.
When I was a kid, I used to sit in class and twist my teeth until they came out, and I said maybe I am ambidextrous. Ambidextrous. What did you call it?
She meant
I
masochist.
thought you said malignant.
Maybe she's a masochist because she likes pain and
Americus.
Amer-
Malignant.
So I finally get to film again, and I'm super excited because I took a while to figure out what I wanted to create, what kind of content I wanted to put out there, because my last video, I just kind of threw a video out there, and I don't want to do that anymore because I don't feel like that's who I am as a creator and a person. And I loved the video that felt like therapy to me. It's raining really heavily outside right now, so if you're hearing that, that's what it is. I just got out of the shower. I had a little self-care day. I'm building a costume right now for Halloween, which is next week's video. I was figuring out what I wanted to talk about in this video this week because I didn't want to just throw something out there willy-nilly anymore. I wanted to talk about things that are prominent in today's culture and that I feel passionately about. And I decided that this week I wanted to talk about queer culture, being queer in Arkansas, being queer in general. That's a subject that really hits home for me because I try to immerse myself in the queer culture so much, and it's really hard in Arkansas. And I am finally able to find more queer friends and talk to more queer people. And I love it. I love being around people that understand me and get me and know the things that I'm also going through as a queer non-binary person. I think the hardest thing is to just find people of that culture because I was raised so heteronormative that I always go to things with my friends and my friends are straight, and if they're not straight, they're in heterosexual relationships. So I always find myself around more straight people, and it doesn't allow me to express myself clearly. And I was raised in a very heteronormative household and very Christian and strict and religious, and it didn't allow me to express myself fully. Recently, I've been watching the show We're Here because I try to keep myself inclusive in not just being queer in real life, but also queer culture in the media. And I feel like We're Here is the best representation of queer culture right now. I feel like Dragula is the best representation of queer artistry. And I've just been so in love with this show. I never cry at shows. I never cry at TV shows, movies, books, songs, nothing. This is the one show that every episode of season 2 has brought me to tears. I mean, the first 2 episodes, I was literally bawling my eyes out because it brought me back into a place of things that I realized I wasn't pushing down myself. My femininity, my gender expression, just everything. I didn't get that most of the things I was doing so I could be accepted in other people's eyes, and I never felt at home inside of my body and my mind and who I was. This show has just been eating at me and making me wake up. But these past 3 weeks have been such an odd transition to not only me, but to who I'm becoming, because I haven't really felt this open with myself and vulnerable with myself like I thought I did. And I'm letting myself feel these new emotions of being feminine and being, in the gray area of gender. And I find that I love it. Throughout creating art and these videos, I think I'm genuinely just happy with who I am right now. I even wore my Bob the Drag Queen Getting Arrested at Pride shirt that my best friend Caroline bought for me. It's one of my favorite shirts because it's a non-binary black drag queen getting arrested at Pride. What's more queer than that? And I'm gonna show the clip that I took after watching either episode 1 or episode 2 of We're Here. It's not cute. It's not cute at all. It is actually a very funky looking clip of me, but it is so vulnerable. It was how I felt in that moment, and I can't describe how I feel about this show right now, and I can't describe about how I feel being queer in Arkansas and queer in the South, and just queer in general. I was queer in the military. I was queer in church work, because I worked for a church for about a year. And having to shove all of that down so deep inside of me, and now finally being able to not repress it and just open it and fully step out of my closet and tell people, like, you either accept me or you don't. We have earned our place as gay, lesbian, trans people that other people were just given. I have to work 10 times harder to be seen and 15 to 25 times harder to be noticed and given recognition and representation of my art and videos and who I am as a person. And I was so afraid for so long to show myself as this feminine person because I didn't want to bleed into the stereotypes of what a gay person or a gay man back then, what a gay man was. And now finally giving into those stereotypes and telling people, like, I get to exist just as myself, comfortably in my own skin and my own mind, without what you have to say. If me walking down a sidewalk and what I want to wear and how I decorate my body bothers you, and you feel like you need to say something, maybe you need to take a step back and realize, how does this actually affect me? Because it doesn't. But I'm going to show that clip, and hopefully you don't judge me too hard for it. I know I do not look my best right now, but it's almost 3 a.m. And I just watched season 2, episode 1 of We're Here. Being queer and raised in the South, I was always told to kind of push it down and not be completely who I am. And I'm still working on being who I am. It's not the easiest all of the time. One of the performers, the new performers who was straight, he had a brother that did drag. And he said sometimes you don't just have to think outside of the box, you have to act outside of the box. And I hadn't sobbed in so long, and it felt so good. But I think what hurt me the most, it didn't hurt, it just made me do some realization of how would my family act if I took them to an openly queer space like that? How would my family act if they fully knew me as the queer person that I really am. Because even last week at the shoot, I left in boy clothes. And I came back in boy clothes because I didn't feel like I would be accepted here. What would my family do if they knew that I wore makeup or if I liked wearing wigs? How would my family act if I invited them to a drag show? Or if I brought over my queer friends? My grandpa and I have never had a relationship like that. We've never been open with each other about who I am. We don't talk about it. We don't ask questions. It just, why am I the one that has to suffer to make other people feel comfortable? Why is it always me making myself hurt to let other people fit me inside of a box? It's not fair that I have to work 10 times harder to do what a straight person does and 50 times harder to be recognized for it. I just want to be fully accepted.